Hey, what's up? It's Peter Rosenberg, ESPN, WWE, Hot 97, all that stuff. I'm live from New York City right now. I'm hanging with Bear the dog, and you're not listening to the worst podcast, but at the same time, it's not the best podcast. No, literally, you're listening to not the best podcast, all right? Talking about real life issues, real life things, real talk, real people, all right? Not the best podcast. I'm Peter Rosenberg. Peace.
Welcome to the podcast. It's not the best podcast, but the expectation's in the name, so you can't say we didn't warn you. Alongside Naldo, alongside Reg, it's me, the D-I-Z. So how's your week going, guys?
Week's going all right, man. It's been an interesting week to start off the year, to say the least.
Yeah, to say the very least.
For sure.
For real, son.
For sure.
We'll talk about coming out with a bang, son. Then you want to just go back. Like, I mean, I don't feel like we left 2020 right now, son. Like,
season 2, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Season 2. New Year who? The sequel. This 2020 the sequel out here, son.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I told people not to get too comfortable with this whole New Year thing, because
it didn't mean anything.
it doesn't mean shit, right?
No, it doesn't mean a goddamn thing.
On the calendar.
Somebody said, oh, nah, man, it's just, December 42nd. You know what I mean? Like, December 42nd, 2020. We still out here. You know what I mean?
It's crazy. Well, before we jump into all that, how about we get into some not the best moments of the week?
Oh, yeah. Mine not the best moment. Having some car troubles. So I had to get my car towed. It didn't start on one day last week, and then I just didn't try again for the rest of the week. And then,
what? Wait, you just left it stranded?
You just like, fuck it.
I did. I mean, I was already home. It was parked at home. I just didn't want to deal with it. So then Saturday I tried, and it just wasn't. So I had to get it towed. So the mechanics now. I'm contemplating if it's time for a new vehicle or not.
Oh,
but
man.
I don't know. I'm not ready to part ways yet.
Rest in peace if that's the case, man. Yo, get well soon, Aki.
I know, man.
Because it'll be the end of an era.
Yeah, for sure.
Son.
I mean, that car is taking us some places.
December 42nd, bro. It just keeps getting
Keeps
getting worse. It's get worse, bro. So do you have an idea, like when you started, it was just one of those just silent treatments, or did you get a little in there?
No, it was a little in there. So I think basically
mad listeners know what that means. Mad people know what that means.
Yeah, it's a little crank. I mean, I think basically it's probably some fuel injection stuff. I don't know. I'm no mechanic. I just dropped it off. And I'll wait till they tell me what they tell me, and then see what I do after that.
Yeah, right. Wait to see if it's too expensive to deal with.
Or not. Or just we're going to trade this in right now. Fix it. CarMax.
CarMax. Oh, man. That's crazy.
Maybe it's a blessing in disguise.
Facto.
I actually think I want to keep it and make it a project vehicle. Because I'm not going to be able to get a manual car after this again. They just don't make them.
A project vehicle.
A project vehicle? No, you literally just said that, you know what I'm saying? You tried it, it didn't work, and you just left it out there. So when they bring it back to your house and it's just not working, you go do the diagnostics, you go under the hood, everything that you could have did a week ago, you gonna do down the line?
No, when I say project, to
fix it up.
Fix it up, yeah. And take it to the racetrack and stuff, not to a
car.
Yeah.
A racetrack.
Yeah.
Although, man, son, don't let Florida man get you.
Come on, yo.
What do you mean?
Come on, son. What are you doing?
They do it in Jersey too. What are you guys talking about?
Dale Earnhardt now? You think you're Richard Petty, nigga?
You think you're right?
Bubba Wallace out here and shit.
You over here trying to take it around the track, fam?
You light skin? You think you Bubba Wallace?
Why not?
Why?
Right.
You gotta give me a why before I get a why not.
Because it's something. It's a tool. It's something to do. It's a toy. You could enjoy it. People do it all the time. What do you mean?
All right, you gonna be the guy to gut the whip out and just start putting hella horsepower behind it? And
no, I know a guy.
And milk crate while you drive it.
I know a guy who can do all this for me.
Everybody in Florida knows a guy. Naldo, as your friends.
Honestly,
that knows when you get to a point you can OD a little bit, right?
I took the pan cover off. It's not street legal.
Took off the restrictor.
I took the restrictor plate off. It's not street legal.
Down low. We gotta keep it on the down low.
It's not helpful, guys.
Oh man.
Carmen won't let me do it either, but
I mean,
because
because
Carmen got
you're
sense.
trying to Frank the Tank yourself right now.
it's you find little communities of people who do this. You know,
Yeah.
there's this. You guys ever seen like people who have like the Acura days and like Volkswagen days and all that stuff, and they ride out and have a merry old time together? It's not like I'm hanging out with you guys,
So
right?
you're trying to be Fast and the Furious out here with a bunch of
man.
Acuras.
I Vin Diesel.
Fast and Florida.
Luda. I Luda.
Hi, Luda. Hi, Tyrese.
I don't know why you guys.
We got
Listen.
We can't even go to your funeral, dog.
Just because you guys are washed. Just because y'all are washed.
I'm not trying to see that shit on no camera phone, fam. Like
You're on a track. It's not like I'm racing on 95. I probably have more of a chance of ending at a funeral going commuting to work every day down 95 rather than on a racetrack just going straight for a quarter mile.
Hey, yo, listen, although, yo, we support you, bro. We just, we would support you more if you didn't do that.
Look, I probably have a better chance of living driving my rusty Acura with the blunt birds in it. at 120 miles an hour.
At 120 miles an hour.
Acura is not rusty, first of all. My Acura is in great shape. All right.
It's at the mechanic right now.
Except that it don't drive.
Get a diagnostic.
It's in great shape except for the fact that it don't move.
It don't move. It just said, and that was it. You know what I mean?
If you guys want to clown me all day, it's fine.
It's not about clowning. This is an intervention, son. You didn't know this, right? But Carmen was earlier. Let us know that you was thinking about this, and we
just saved your life, dog.
Yeah,
Save my life,
Appreciate it.
nothing.
Why?
damn, son. We don't want to shit on your dreams. It's just that like you're fun. We feel like it's a bad idea. As your
It's just because you guys are stuck in the house all day. You guys aren't doing anything. I have an opportunity to take my car and turn it into something great.
to hell on wheels.
Guys, how was your week this week, guys?
Man, just found out that not a major surprise, but my school will be continuing remote learning for our students. That sucks really bad, man. Like, it sucks really bad. Like, this remote learning thing is just, even though it's safe for everybody, and I understand why we're doing it, man, but our kids are hurting, bro. They're hurting bad. And it's just not good. It sucks, man. The district that I work in, not to like name it or whatever, but in that particular area, the coronavirus cases got so high post, holiday season to the point where they compare it to some states.
Yeah.
So in essence, it's a safe thing, man. But it sucks, man, because we can't keep an eye on our kids, bro. So
Yeah.
we got to deal. Gentlemen, you might as well just. We got to dip our toe in the water on this one, right?
But y'all know that my first drag race, I'm gonna FaceTime y'all like, look, I'm making it happen.
Yeah. Do that.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. Yeah. Matter of fact, don't FaceTime us. Just make it live. Just make it live. Just go live on it.
Yeah. So everybody can see you die.
Who's everybody? I want to see everybody. Damn, dude.
Got morbid.
I know. What's wrong with this guy?
It's got to be the beard, yo. It's got to be the beard.
Y'all must have forgot who the best driver on this podcast is.
You're not the best driver.
You're the best designated driver. I'll tell you that.
I'm the best driver out of all y'all niggas.
I don't know. All right. Well, we'll agree to disagree.
All right. But, go ahead, man. Like this week has been
Interesting to say the least, right?
yeah, man. Yeah.
Right. So last Wednesday,
Right.
so if you're listening to this recording, we're recording here on Monday, January 11th. It's currently 8:35 p.m.
OnlyFans time.
So for context, So obviously, as everyone knows, there was what do we call it? An insurrection?
Insurrection, brother.
Yeah,
It was an insurrection.
insurrection.
A coup,
A coup,
if you will.
an attempted coup d'état.
Attempted coup d'etat.
Coup d'état.
Yeah.
No one's really surprised by Trump's rhetoric, and I don't think that anybody's really surprised by the amount of people that showed up to the situation. But are people really surprised that they actually tried to seize the Capitol? Like, what was really their goal?
Like,
Like, like what was the end game? Like, that's what I need to know. What was the end game? Like, was it really kidnap Mike Pence? Like,
I really think they thought that day like Trump would have been president again. Like Trump 2020 would have carried on to 2020.
like there was really no win though from the situation, right? Like they
No.
could have died, which they didn't because obviously,
Well, some did.
Yeah.
Well, right, some did, but the Trumpers that died, right?
I think the term is retrumplicans.
The Republicans that died, right? And one died of a heart attack, right? So doesn't really count?
It was excitement, bro. That counts. If he was home, he wouldn't have had the heart attack. He was excited. It was a revolution.
I got maced.
You got maced. Inside the Capitol?
I made it like a foot inside, and they pushed me out, and they maced me.
What's your name? Where are you from?
My name is Elizabeth. I'm from Knoxville, Tennessee.
And why did you want to go in?
We're storming the Capitol. It's a revolution.
It's a revolution. Shout out to Elizabeth from Knoxville.
Oh man.
These insurgents were wilding.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Insurrectionists. Were
Like dudes were rappelling from the ceiling. Like,
but he had zip tie handcuffs.
that's what I'm saying. Yo, that's what I'm saying. Like what? Like what? What was? Do you see that?
No.
Like, dude, what was your? My man had a full, like, he was full, like, Metal Gear Solid, outfit, zip tie handcuffs, jumping through the sun. It's crazy.
In full like paramilitary gear, bro.
Yeah, they found him today.
Yeah, yeah.
But
took him down.
I was thoroughly impressed by the people climbing the wall.
Yo, and people got mad at me when I said that, right? Because I'm like, yo, like regardless of how you feel about this whole thing, right? Whether you're opposed to Trump or not, like
determination,
you have to be impressed by the sheer commitment of these motherfuckers, son. Because they literally, first of all, they drove from wherever the fuck they came from. Because none of these people are from the East Coast.
No,
like none of these people were from the Northeast.
everywhere.
They were from everywhere: California, Tennessee.
There was that one kid from Jersey, though.
Yeah,
there was a kid from Jersey there.
I mean,
but the sheer commitment to it, like, and to keep it under wraps. Granted, like I'm sure, you know, law enforcement knew to some degree, but I don't think they was ready for that.
no.
And also, I think that is something. I think we should acknowledge that. Like, there are definitely people that were there from the East Coast. Like, let's make it very clear that these Trump supporters live anywhere. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I guess my point is that there were so many people there that were committed to this event, to this thing, to this. And the thing is that like people think like it was just something that got out of control. But for my man to come with like zip tie handcuffs, right? And he knew what he came here for. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't just a situation where like they came to protest or demonstrate and it just got out of control and it led to all that shit.
He came wanting to smoke. He came wanting to
They
smoke.
came for blood. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So
the other part is like the way he came in, the way as red as he was, he knew something was going to happen to him. Like he was going to get locked up or something. He had a big ass breakfast that morning. Like, yo, I'm going down over to this little rally and I'm hauling ass. I don't know if anybody else going, but I'm going.
Yeah. And what's crazy about it too, you're right. I think about it, yo. There are literally like hundreds of Congress people, right? Because you got 50 states and most states have more than one, right?
Yeah.
They knew how to get to Nancy Pelosi's office. You know what I mean? They knew how to get to, you know, wherever they really wanted to go, right? Like that's a big ass building, bro. Like you don't just walk in and like look at a board like in an office building and find where you want to go.
Right.
Like they knew exactly. Yeah, they knew directory in that motherfucker. Like they knew exactly where they wanted to go, where they needed to go. So that obviously leads me to believe that there was a much more sinister force afoot.
Yes, bro.
for sure.
I mean, fam, to be honest, when I'm watching, and obviously there were some people that it was a spontaneous event, right? Like, you know, oh, we're gonna march down to the Capitol. He was like, oh, all right, we out. Like, you know what I'm saying? They see a door open, opportunists will take advantage, right? There was cats that was there, ready for wreck all week.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was listening to Rosenberg the other day, and he said that he went to go visit DC for some business, and he went to go stay over by his pop's house, and his dad, worked at Congress like for most of his career, so on and so forth, and that he said, yeah, man, it's going down. It's going down. Something's happening. And he was like, Rosenberg was like, how do you figure? He says, bro, there are no hotel rooms open right now. Everybody's booked solid. And this is like a week before the actual, rally, right?
Right.
So then on top of that, what he said, which is like, another, I guess, piece of the pie, I guess, was that in DC, they were talking a lot about like the employees of said hotels and stuff like that, who are, I guess, the polar opposite of what these Trump supporters are, and having to care for these people, take care of their rooms and all that, and how they were even scared to go to work because of these people in the hotels, bro. You want to talk about how many different perspectives was going on at that time, bro? It was, to me, like I would have, the way y'all would be at a Black Friday in Target, man, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, to be a fly on the wall, or even to be in that ambiance to see everything that was going on, bro, it must have been just an insane ass scene, bro. Like, insane. Insane.
I'm sure. I mean, being in front of those buildings by themselves is something that's like, kind of crazy, right? You feel like the amount of the presence, I guess, of the energy of being in DC and being around the Capitol building and all these like, and then for like people to actually just break in there and kind of like cause havoc, it's insane. Oh, it is.
That hasn't happened since when, they said 1812,
something like that.
I didn't think it ever happened. They said people never even broke.
Nobody ever got inside. It was like when it was like they never even had a Confederate flag go through the Capitol building.
Yeah.
But yet they had Confederate flags, and guess what else kind of flags? The Trump flag.
Trump flag.
Holy shit. Yo.
Yeah, listen, I mean, Trump, listen, I mean, this whole scenario has just solidified the legend of Donald Trump.
Son.
Like, he's a legend. Like,
he's going to be in history books.
Yeah, he's going to be in history books.
I mean, he was going to be in history books for getting elected anyway. But now you in the history books for a whole nother, that's a whole nother chapter you got.
He might have a whole chapter.
No, he don't got a chapter. He got a unit.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
COVID unit.
But think about it though, right? And I heard this on 97 this morning, and it made me really think, right? So all of the states and cities and towns and townships that really rock with this dude, right? What happens when they start naming streets after him? What happens when they start naming schools after him? What happens when they start teaching, about
his ideologies
and his ideologies in school? You know what I mean? Because I mean, we've already seen that the highest level of law enforcement, already subscribes to his rhetoric. You can tell by the silence from them. The same police unions, particularly, the city of New York, their police union, who's historically racist and have, racist practices and all that stuff, with all of this. And you've seen, what 2 police officers die. You've seen multiple police officers have their lives in jeopardy and nothing, nothing in regards to denouncing the actions of these Trump supporters. Yet, you preach Blue Lives Matter. You preach these ideas that the badge and the shield and the uniform are to be respected in a way that supersedes the average citizen. But at the same time, when your own and their lives are being put in jeopardy, you don't make the effort to recognize that. And that just goes to show you, man, that all this shit is bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what, though? Blue Lives Matter, all that stuff, like, those blue lives that were lost were at the cost of their own for the most part.
Yeah.
Like, you saw that a lot of people say, oh, yeah, they broke in, bro. Clear video, clear as day. Capitol officers opening gates saying, go on in. Like, waving them in. And then you got the one guy who's trying to hold the door down between his own and the mob, and he's getting his body crushed, screaming for help, bro. That was probably one of the hardest things I had to see, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Insane, man. insane. And like, that has to show you something, right? Like, they talk about defunding the police. Like, listen, I get it, man, but like, put that money towards some background checks, man. It's like now you want to start checking these folks and seeing what's going on. It's crazy, dude. It's crazy.
And you feel for it, right? Because, it's not as if we as people who may support, Black Lives Matter or police reform, it's not as if we are against police,
Right.
or, it's not like we're in opposition of police, but at the same time, you feel for those people who have to do that job, right? Because every day you literally go to work not knowing whether or not you're going to come home, but at the same, but that's a choice you make, right?
Right.
That's a choice you make. But when those lives are lost, that doesn't make it any less disheartening,
Right.
to see that happen, especially something like this that could have been avoided.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, this is just poisonous, venomous rhetoric that incited a riot that didn't need to happen.
Right.
I think it needed to happen
Okay.
because honestly, I still say it. I think Donald Trump came in and did his job, and I'm thankful for Donald Trump for everything that he did, because all of this stuff needed to come to light. I'm sorry, but like, people would have still kept saying like, oh, the country's just divided and this is not the America we know. But like, all this stuff is put on Front Street, and I'm happy that it's like, it's not just like Black Lives Matter versus like white people. It's not like just a race thing now. Now you can see it's like actual like evil people who are just pure evil and just want to, like have dominance and think that they're better than everybody. Versus people who might not think so, or who are just against that. You know what I mean? So I think it was good that, I say let it rock on. To watch it. I mean,
I don't agree. I don't disagree with that idea. I do think that it is. I think it is. I don't want to say refreshing, but
you could preface it by saying it's unfortunate that, like,
oh yeah, for sure, it's definitely unfortunate.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's a great. It's great in the fact that people who looked at this person, this political figure, as an innocuous figure or innocuous rhetoric, and ultimately everything that we knew as, whether you want to call us people of color or people who just didn't support that idea and those ideologies, like at the end of the day, like it literally was taken to the furthest extreme. And all the possibilities that maybe those people didn't think were possible came to fruition. And now everything's just out of the window. You know what I mean? A lot of those people who supported it and thought that, oh, it's harmless, or, I support the values, but not the person. You know what I mean? At the end, like, they got to see it for what it really was.
Right.
And it's scary because, like, you realize like how many people are lawyers and law enforcement and doctors and people who went out and supported this shit that that were at this rally. These are everyday people who you could be making your food. These are people who could be in charge of giving you a loan. These are people who could be your boss. Like, these are people who could be the police officer that that comes to you when you're in need. You know what I mean? Like, these are all regular people, dude. Like, these aren't just crazy hillbillies that live in the country and in trailer parks. Like Naldo said, they're everywhere. And these people are everyday lives and everyday jobs and people that report to them. And ultimately, those biases that they carry, those are the types of things that we talk about when we talk about the system and how it's built to not support or encourage us or promote us to be successful. You know what I mean? Because people like that are the ones that are in charge.
Right. And in some cases, you would hope that, like, when people saw this, it's like, the blinders were off and like they have a better understanding. There's some people that saw this and still riding for it, bro. Openly with it. Like, it wasn't Trump's fault. Yo, brother told people to go to the Capitol.
And then there's some people who are still kind of wanting to, I guess, downplay it a little bit by saying this is not the America we know. Like, this is not America.
This is exactly
the country's
what it's always
divided.
been.
And actually, that's something I really hate when people say that this country is so divided now. Because, like, when wasn't this country divided, right? It's only divided now between white people, right? But it was always divided between black people and white people, any minority group and white people, you know. So, like, now for people to be saying that, it's like, no, you see it. It's just divided from what you expected, you know, like you and your peers are at a divide now. But for us, like, it's something that we always knew. And I think to me, that's why I can just like, I kind of enjoyed seeing that happen because I think it just needed to be put on Front Street. Like, this is what it really is, you know, like, it wasn't just like Black Lives Matter. We were doing this because, you know, we wanted to make some incremental changes. Like, no, this is really what this country is about. This is deeply ingrained. Like, these people took flights during a pandemic to come here and gather to support this guy. And then climb walls and break into the Capitol building. Like,
Yo, risking life and limb, bro.
Life and limb. So definitely saw an
People
elder
falling
woman
off the
fall
wall?
off the wall.
Right?
Definitely saw an older woman fall off the wall. So what they did was, you know, the little metal barricades that, you know, like when we used to go Easter Parkway, used to hop through things. They put one up against the wall, and you know, the wall with the ridges on it,
like a ladder.
like a ladder. So she gets past that and she's going up the cement wall, bro. She nearly makes it to the top, son. Reaches for somebody's hand and falls. This woman is clearly 60 plus years old, son.
Good for her.
It's right on the ladders, bro. Like,
Good for her.
it's right on them, son.
Yo,
A lot of comedy at this, bro. It was a lot of people that weren't ready that day, like my man with the paramilitary outfit. He was ready for that.
nah, he was ready.
Did you hear about the guy who had
Came in here with Lululemon pants on and a blouse and thought that she was going to storm the Capitol like everybody else. You wasn't ready, fam. You wasn't
Did you hear
ready.
about the guy who had the like 12 Molotov cocktails in his
In
car?
his vehicle,
Yo, this is
and pipe bombs that they happen to intercept.
so it is scary. I mean, that is one thing. I mean, as much as this probably needed to happen so people could see it, it is scary times because this is now a movement. It is not something that I don't think is just going to end with that one incident, right? You have all these people. I mean, I drive around my neighborhood and I see people still with their Trump stuff up, and I laugh because it says Trump Pence, and I'm like, they're not even friends anymore.
They're homies no more, bro.
Like,
They're
what are
not
you guys
even
gonna
homies
do?
anymore.
You could either have a Trump Pence flag or you have a Trump 2020 flag. All those things are now,
Are expired.
yeah.
Expired.
all that shit is spoiled milk, dog. It's spoiled milk, dog.
Boy, son, it's not the best.
It's not the best.
No.
Yo, son, but the craziest thing about Mike Pence, right? You want to talk about somebody that got an awakening, right? That, like, you know, they sent the people down and he figured he got support from his meds, and his meds is like, nah, you're not doing your job by overturning it. And then people literally calling for his head. They put a guillotine outside with a noose and try to get Pence to go get hung up on it, right? Son, his part in county electoral vote, yo, was purely like ceremonial.
Right.
Like, you going through the motions, bro.
The
You
whole
just reading
situation
a
is
script.
ceremonial.
You're reading a script. You don't have no rights. It's like you Steve Harvey, bro. Just say who won the damn pageant and let's keep it moving. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, you almost died for your man's over a ceremony.
He's probably pissed off about that shit too.
Oh no, he spoke to a senator on record. Somebody was talking to him, was like, yo, bro, so you see now, right? He was like, I can't believe he did that to me. What you mean?
But I'm saying, like, the fact that if they would have found that nigga, you'd have hung him.
Son.
Like, that had to piss you off.
Speaking about you know who saved his life? That black officer that you saw running up the stairs. Did you hear the story about him?
Yeah.
Officer Eugene. Apparently, a lot of people was giving him slack because he was running away from, you know, the white mob or whatever, right? In essence, what he did was he antagonized the mob to follow him upstairs because they were literally about to make a right to where the Senate floor was, and the door wasn't barricaded yet. So when you saw him go up to the dude and push him in the chest and then go get his baton and start waving it at him, he was trying to get their attention. So when he runs upstairs, that gave the Secret Service that was inside on the Senate floor literally seconds to blockade the door to keep people from coming in. Like, he saved people. They're calling him a national hero right now, son.
That's
Incredible, yo.
Shout
Incredible.
out to Officer Eugene, yo.
Officer Eugene, man.
I'm
Shout
gonna
out
throw-
to Officer Eugene, man.
Yeah, we
Holding
gonna throw
it
his
down
picture
for the
up.
Capitol, son.
If you
That's
like think about,
crazy.
but just have that image in your head, like really. Officer Eugene comes, he pushes somebody in the chest, waves his baton, like come over here, come get. It's like Kevin from Home Alone.
No, it was Jurassic Park. It was my man with the T-Rex. Fire and shit, like, "Yo, come follow me, son." Insane.
I'm over here, you big horse's ass.
Oh man.
Bruh, shout out to Officer Eugene, man, because they could have really had Pelosi strung up, man. And
But it shows you how stupid those people are. Like,
but bro, you know what was funny? If you look at that video, my man looked to the right first too. He was like, "Nah, I'm gonna follow him."
yeah. Could you imagine? Like, I wonder what these people's like families who are like, yeah, that's my uncle.
Yeah. Not the one, yo, oh man, I don't know if you saw, but the whole girl, like got punched in the face by the black chick.
Oh yeah, the jab, the stiff jab.
Yeah, her daughter came out and damn, what did she say?
18-year-old Helena Duke of Boston says she got so incensed she outed her mom with this text. "Hi, Mom. Remember the time you told me I shouldn't go to BLM protests because they could get violent? This you?"
Bruh.
No, I didn't see that.
You know what else is funny? You know, old boy, yeah, he was all over the gram, son. My man that tried to steal Nancy Pelosi's podium, right?
Yeah.
My man was posing with the podium. He took it from one spot of the Capitol, brought it to the other spot, so on and so forth. So they found him, right?
Yeah.
Locked his ass up. Do you know he's a stay-at-home dad of 4? And his wife is a doctor, is a physician?
Uh-huh.
Son, my man literally... You want to talk about like your family just looking at you when the feds come to your house, right? First of all, you on Instagram, everybody's like, "Yo, son, you need to lay low. You need to sit down because you was just way too out there." What are you doing on vacation anyway as a stay-at-home dad, son?
Yo, homeboy with the zip ties, a Metal Gear Solid, his ex-wife sold him out.
Yes.
He's like, yep, that's that motherfucker right there.
I would like to see how it's all gonna go down. All these people like in jail. Like, I think their sentences should be made public. I mean, these people have literally like betrayed the country. You know what I mean? Like, I think it is something that should be definitely done in a public forum.
He should be flogged.
Yeah, for
Hard
sure.
and hard and feathered.
For sure. Like, the most humiliating things should happen to them.
You gonna take it back to like, you know what I'm saying, like Thailand, just get like 30 lashes in the Times
Lashes,
Square.
yeah, on Fox News.
On the Capitol steps.
Yeah, niggas got that for spray painted. Right?
Word, right? For spray painting.
You spray painted somebody's car and he got 30 lashes for that.
They put that shit on pay-per-view. I remember that.
I remember that.
Yo.
I remember that.
Bruh.
Shit's crazy. Yo,
not
America's soft, yo.
Say who?
America's soft.
America is soft.
Yo, you do know shit like
Soft-
that in Thailand, bro.
Soft to who though?
I'll be very honest. I was actually surprised that they were arresting these people.
I wasn't
didn't think-
surprised.
I was
I didn't think it was going to happen.
Because
in
I'll
my
be
mind,
more
it's like-
something.
Because
I got to see what the punishment is first, and then I'll tell you if I'm surprised or not.
Right.
Because
Right.
arresting
no-
them is only one thing. Like that's making the effort to arrest them. I get it. Making the effort to arrest them, like it's a grandiose effort,
Yeah.
right? To identify hundreds of people and really go out and try to.
Interviewing, finding people's ex-wives, like, yeah, that's him.
Yeah, nah, they offered it up. They don't even. But yeah, nah. I
Hello,
mean,
1-800 Crime Stoppers.
putting
Yeah, that was,
them on the no. Have you hashtag no fly list?
No.
You got a hashtag no fly list. Look, you can look up the hashtag the no fly list. It's just white people at the airport get stopped because they were a part of the group, and the government put them on a no fly list. So they're literally at the airport screaming and wilding out.
I heard some guy was crying.
Yeah,
Yo, don't cry then, bro. Don't cry. Because everybody that was out there that was on the gram having a good old time, getting a smile on, you know, taking
Busting out
selfies, saying your
windows,
full name.
doing
Yeah,
shit.
Elizabeth from Knoxville. Yeah, all that shit. Like, so you need to go. My man that was sitting in Nancy Pelosi's desk with his feet up, he left a quarter there and like was cursing her out on that letter and then stole mail
yeah.
and then went back to Arkansas thinking shit was sweet.
Nah, buddy, it's not sweet.
It's not
Nah,
sweet,
buddy,
brother.
it's not sweet. Nope.
I heard the whole town. Everybody was like, "Yeah, I know that guy. I can't believe he came from here."
Yeah.
And then they went and got his ass. He thought the town was going to save him. You know what I'm saying?
Nope.
Nah, brother, you got to go.
You gotta go, buddy.
How about the black folks that you saw? Were you surprised at them?
No.
Me neither.
No.
There's all types of people. There's all types of people that want to, that thinks they're like better than others, or like that think they're above other people. You know, there's plenty of people like that. They come from all shapes, sizes, colors.
Right.
Or maybe it goes to show you how much people really hated that there was a black president. And
That too.
possibly a black female president.
Yeah, but that's just as bad, right? Because you think the same people who denounce the fact that we had a black president, or the fact that we will have a female vice president, or black female vice president, are opposed to Donald Trump? Like, you know, you think that, like, oh shit, we can't have a black president, but Donald Trump is too much for me. Like, you think there's a person like that?
Right now, yeah.
You think there's a person who's just like, yo, I hate black people so much that they cannot be president or vice president, but Donald Trump is too much for me?
Yeah, because he kind of messes up their status quo of like how things were prior to that. You know what I mean? Where things could just be kept under the rug and the system was just running and people were just happy with the status quo.
And you think that's a significant number of people?
No, I didn't think it's a significant number of people, but I do think there are people like that who are like, damn it, we're gonna have another black woman in the office. We're gonna have a black woman in the office, and we had a black president. I wish Donald Trump didn't mess this up for us.
To be honest, I think some of those people are even on the Senate floor, bro.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for
You know
sure.
what I'm saying? Like, if you think about it, because like a lot of the Republican senators or congressmen or whatever that, you know, had the opportunity to object the state electoral votes to count towards Joe Biden, had their minds changed because of that little capital rush. You dig what I'm saying? And like, you know, what could have lasted like hours on end of like, you know, we're going to do Arizona, we're going to do Texas, we're going to do Pennsylvania, and the list goes on and on. Instead it was like, yeah, man, I'm pulling my name off that. Like, we need to get him out of here because I almost died and he didn't give a shit. He's too much.
I don't think that's what it was. I really think that it was an attempt to rescue the Republican Party, to separate the Republican Party from Donald Trump and his rhetoric, because I think ultimately you're going to have people who separate themselves from the Republican Party because they were in such support of this Donald Trump regime. And I think that's why people are jumping off the boat now and resigning, because it's like, yo, like, I can't have this attached to me. And at the very least, if I can say that I jumped off, even if it was at the last second, that can save face for me.
Right.
So you can always say that, you know, I came to the realization that, you know, this wasn't right, and I made the decision to separate myself from that. And that's what they're doing, right? They don't give a fuck.
Do you guys think that this was like this scrambled the Republican Party? Like, do you think that it was something that like put a heavy chink in their armor? Because
for sure,
according to some people that are Republicans right now that are, you know, high profile, are saying like, yeah, we damaged for a little bit. Like, we took a hit. You
have to, right? And it's not even in the sense that, all right, Donald Trump messed this up for us. You also have the people that are looking at the Republican Party that are Donald Trump supporters and saying, like, we need to be more hardcore than that. Like, that's not, they're saying we're not the Republican Party, we are this thing. And the Republican Party saying we're not this thing, we are the Republican Party, right? So there's already a faction there, right? Yeah. And then you also have the people who are saying, because the Republican Party has supported that thing, then we cannot associate ourselves with that. I.e., my favorite, Colin Powell. He came out today and he said, I can't even consider myself a Republican anymore. You know what I mean? I'm not saying he said, I'm not saying I'm a Democrat. I just can't focus on parties right now because our country is in such disarray. Yeah. Right? So you've really taken the Republican Party. You've broken it up into three. Psychos, traditional Republican Party, and, you know, people who are deciding that, you know, they cannot support the Republican Party because they've aligned themselves with psychos.
But that's right now. In 4 years, those people will go back to supporting the Republican Party.
Oh, yeah. And the Republican Party is going to continue to pander to all those people, right? Because they need the votes, right? You can't win without the votes. But it's just a matter of, are those psychos going to come back and support them. You know, that's why they show up to my bad, Reg.
No,
that's
it's all
why
good.
they
Handle your business.
that's why they show up to all these Ku Klux Klan banquets and shit, and they associate themselves with the Proud Boys and all that shit. That's why
Right.
they do it. They don't give a fuck about Proud Boys. They don't give a fuck about the KKK. What they do give a fuck about is the vote, right?
And the money.
And the money.
I was gonna say that because I remember a while back, I think Naldo, correct me if I'm wrong, man. I'm just, going off the top right now. Is the fact that I remember Naldo saying like it would be better if we had like more than two parties to possibly, be candidates for future, elected official offices, so on and so forth. Like, would that breakup of the Republican Party be a catalyst to growing new potential parties? Or you think that it's just going to be a snapback and they're just going to get back to the good old boys type thing?
I think it's. I'm sorry. Let me digest your question again. Sorry. So, do I think they're going to go back to being a Republican Party? No.
Or do you think that this is going to be a catalyst to them breaking up and, essentially doing their own thing? Because this is a hit, bro.
I still think there's going to be Republican and Democratic parties. Then I think there's just going to be extreme versions of those. You know what I mean? Like the same thing, like the Proud Boys and whatever other like factions there are of this Republican or this Trump supporting thing. I think those movements are here to stay. These people are not going to go anywhere. They're going to get stronger. Trump is going to have a following. He's not going to be able to, he's not going to be governed by like the Constitution anymore. He's going to be able to do what he wants. And it's crazy. The other day I was driving to work and then like going down by like the beach in one of these towns, right? Trump literally has 5 hotels on like a 3-block span, like 5 high rises right on the beach on a 3-block span. And you think like, man, this guy, and then you think all his real estate in West Palm County and like New York City, all over the place. And you're like, man, this guy is, first of all, really, really powerful. He must know some really powerful people because it's not just his money building these things, right? He has groups of people, networks of people,
investors, all that.
Yeah, who all support him and don't have their faces, they're not public figures. You know what I mean? Or that we know at least. So these people are still they might still be supporting Donald Trump. They might still run with him, and they still have a lot of money to back his agenda. You know what I mean? And it's just, I don't know, man. It's going to be some crazy times, but I do think there's going to be some more extreme groups that are coming out of this, whether it's like extreme Democrats or extreme Republicans, or extreme just like neutral people who don't want anything. It's just going to be a lot of extremes because people are so, I guess, activated now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the sheep are activated, bro.
Yeah.
And this is the thing too, man. I don't think it stops with what happened, on Wednesday. Leading up to Biden's inauguration, man, I feel as though like this is not the end. This is not the last that we heard from these quote unquote patriots.
It's the first.
That was just a pop off, and I think that was just like almost like the tip of the iceberg as far as like what the potential that it could become. Because you realize that even that you saw how crazy it was, man, there are still people that are head over heels for this guy, Trump, and will do any and everything to not only just put Trump back in office, but to keep Biden out. And
then you have to think about with this new administration, the policies that they're going to pass and how that's going to have a reaction from groups of people. You know what I mean? So yeah, we're going to see, man. It's all going to be kind of crazy. You know what pisses me off is the fact that Donald Trump gets Secret Service for the rest of his life.
That too. I didn't even think about that. Yes, he does.
Perks of being a president.
That is
right?
wild, yo. Like we're paying for that for the rest of his life.
You know that he's still going to be able to build his library, right?
He gets a library.
Every president gets a library. Every president gets paid forever. Every president get all these perks.
Yeah, man.
That Donald Trump is going to be able to eat off of forever
and escape all these charges that he got.
I don't know.
I don't know if he's going to escape.
No, he will escape.
You think so?
Yeah, he will. He will.
He's not going to see any of these charges, bro.
No, I mean they might file him, but there's never going to be any punishment that fits the
Here's
the
what's gonna happen.
crime that he's done.
They're just gonna make him
Slap on the
spend all
wrist.
this money. They're gonna make him spend all his money. You know, he might have to. He might lose some hotels, lose some stuff. But Donald Trump's not going nowhere. I mean, he's not going to jail or nothing like that. He's just gonna spend a lot of money on these proceedings.
This is America. Damn,
That's how
son.
they get you. Spend your money, boy.
Sheesh. Yo, so I can't help but just like worry about Joe Biden, bro. Like I can't help but worry about his 70-plus-year-old frame out here, like just walking around willy-nilly, like and he's like, he's like one of them good old boys too. He a PA Delaware head. Like you catch Joe Biden in the park playing with his dog and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then a Trump supporter just walking down on him. I mean, they walked through the Capitol, so like,
Wouldn't surprise me.
I think. Joe Biden. To me, I mean, his time in office is very transitional. Like the next 4 years is not something I'm looking forward to. You know what I mean? Like I don't think that anything crazy is going to happen in the next 4 years. Maybe the election after that. But I think Joe Biden is just going to bring us back to where we were. Kind of even things out, cool things down a little bit.
He's gonna give everybody a blanket and a warm glass of milk.
Or some stimulus checks. He's gonna send out all these stimulus checks, and people are gonna be happy again. And that's it. Back to status quo. And then we'll see what the next election brings.
So
The other day, I cut some guy. I didn't even cut a guy off. My bad. This guy cut me off, right? And I like high beamed him because he was making a left, and I was like coming straight, and I like high beamed him right in his driver's side. He just stopped and stared at me, and like guy in the pickup truck, and I'm over here in my little Acura and shit, and like I'm like, man, people right now, you just never really know what's going through somebody's mind, and like what could happen in any second.
They can set it off for you,
especially
boy.
in
They
Florida.
could definitely set it off. It doesn't anywhere, bro. Anywhere.
But especially in Florida.
No, actually,
Especially
I don't even think especially in Florida. I mean,
I mean,
a lot of things happen actually in New York City. When you think about these major events, not Florida. I mean, there's some things.
I was about to say, bro. Like,
Usually with Florida, it's just like one individual, like Florida man. But like in these big cities that like New York, you know what I mean? Chicago.
You do realize Florida man is not one man, right?
right.
I realize that.
It's you Florida
lived
man.
You definitely Florida man.
You Florida
be-
man.
I
You
could
about
be
to
Florida
drag race like Florida man.
Yeah, yep.
That's fine.
You definitely Florida man.
That's
Florida
fine.
man, son.
I'm not mad at it.
Well, that's the podcast. Like, follow, subscribe, wherever you get your podcasts. Follow us, rate us, review us, all that good stuff.
Share.
Don't forget to share.
Don't forget to share, bro.
The fuck is that?
Now you can't fly anymore.
It's a children's book.